Is there any way that we can do it without me having to pay $40? Because me locked up, I have no way to make $40.
Okay, that is a screening fee. If determined that you cannot afford to pay the fee, it will be waived, but that is determined by the clerk of court's office. You also have a right to have a jury trial. If the charges that have been brought against you today are dismissed, not priced, or you're found not guilty, then you can have them expunged from your record. In the kidnapping charge, if you plead guilty or are found guilty, this charge carries up to 30 years in jail. It is considered a felony. On the assault and battery first degree, that charge involves injury of another person, and what makes it the first degree is that act occurred during a kidnapping. So assault and battery first is a second violation that you must face, and that is also a felony, and you can get not more than 10 years for that charge if you plead guilty or are found guilty of that charge. You have certain rights, and I have explained them to you. Do you have any questions about your rights, Mr. Pierson?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me how old you are, sir?
28.
And how long have you lived in Bamberg County?
All my life.
Are you married?
For now.
Have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are they?
10.
One child?
The one there are mine. I have 2 stepchildren.
They reside in Bamberg with you?
No, ma'am.
Where do the children live?
With her mother.
And where does she live?
She lives, my 10-year-old son lives, it's in Cordova. I can't think of his mother's address.
Okay. And please tell me, Mr. Pierson, do you have a job?
I don't anymore.
When's the last time you held a job?
About a week before I was incarcerated.
And where was that?
Cocaine construction.
How long did you work there?
Since, I want to say end of September, 1st of October.
And do you have any prior convictions, record, or been in trouble before?
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell the court on the record what that would be for.
Oh, Lord. I was hit with a bunch of stuff yesterday. I can't remember all the charges, but I'm over here for burglary 3rd degree and grand larceny and petty larceny. No, I'm sorry, it's burglary 1st degree.
Do you have any prior convictions other than what you just told me was pending?
I have another burglary 3rd degree that's pending. I was currently in PTI for that. And other than that, that's all.
At the time, I'm going to ask if there's anything from the state concerning bond.
With state from your discretion, I'll let the victim advocate if she has anything.
Okay. Mr. Pierson, because there is a victim involved in this case on both of these charges, at this time I'm going to turn it over to the victim's advocate. Victim has a right to be heard and be notified of all stages of proceedings of this court case, so I'm going to turn it over to the victim's advocate at this time.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Before I actually speak on behalf of the victim, I did want to let you know what Sergeant Thompson, who was the arresting officer, what he wanted to let me inform you with. He said that at the time when the incident took place, he feels like, the defendant here is a flight risk due to the fact that when the incident occurred with my victim, he was trying to escape. At the time, he does feel like he is a flight risk and a danger to society because pretty much other people could have been harmed during the incident that took place at TRMC, and he pretty much doesn't want him out on bond. On behalf of my victim, after speaking with her, Your Honor, she is terrified. She wished not to appear due to her fear and her safety, simply because she was just doing her job at the time by giving an x-ray, because the defendant here said he had an injury. And pretty much she was caught off guard. She said she didn't do anything to provoke or say anything that would cause the defendant here to actually attack her. She pretty much was choked with his handcuffs from behind. And after reviewing and looking over the statement, Sergeant Thompson, who did take the report, it did show that she did suffer from redness and a bruise around her neck and in her ear, and just pretty much at the top of her body level where she suffered just a lot of her injuries. She herself is asking for a no contact order, and she does, on her discretion, and she does request that you also deny his bond. Pretty much she said that she just wanted you to know that she was just doing her job, and she just feel like, you know, she's afraid and that he is a danger to the community simply because this could have happened to someone else and things just could have gotten out of, pretty much could have gotten out of hand worse than what it was, and other people could have been victimized as well, just besides her, from just her doing her job, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
We've heard from the